start up my home. We've set up the bio endpoint. We have the resume endpoint, the projects endpoint, and I'm going to add a YouTube endpoint in a little bit, but for now, this is good. We need to initiate. Well, let's talk about a few things before we initiate the Git, which is super important for basically tracking all your changes and making it easier for other people to work on. I have asked my AI code editor WINDSURF to um, create an idea of how I'm going to set up my error, my info, my debug logs. Logs are crucial to be able to really debug with an AI code editor, such as WindSurf or even Cursor or any of them, because you can use those to explain to it where the code broke down, and it can again, pinpoint the mistake and go in there and help you fix it. So we're gonna have to do all these things here, but first off, before doing any of this, I'm gonna copy this, but I'm gonna initiate my Git. So I'm gonna ask it, can we initialize my Git to track all changes? Now I should have done this from the get-go. I don't always forget because these code editors are so good that you don't really have mistakes happen and have to revert to an older, go back to an older tracking of your. Oh, yeah. So it can't actually do this right now, but that's fine. Just because it can't, we can still open my terminal. I can go in here. As you can see, it opened up all the pages wonderfully. I'm going to then insert this into my terminal, and we're going to initialize the Git, which down here, you're going to see it initialize the main. And then I can add all these, there's 24 files here in my changes. Then it's found. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add those into my stages, and you're going to see what happens when I do that. Boom. And we are then going to, we're going to basically git commit with to the main. You can see M, and then we can write a little comment. We can do it up here as well, but it's not a big deal to do it in the terminal. So here we are. It's a pretty good initial commit, FLASK portfolio website. Boom. And there you go. Now we have tracked all those as they're now tracking. So what we'll see now is these will actually change as we start working on the code, which will help us figure out which files the editor has changed and whether those are actually working right. They'll be red if they're not working. They'll be green if they are. So lastly, what we can even do is if we have, let's just say, a development, we can work in development, which is our dev. We can add a branch, which will branch off this main code base and make it so that we don't have any issues with the main, which is our most important part of the code. We will be able to then work here in the dev. And that's what I'm going to do for now, is work in the dev, and I'll merge those in the main later as we continue. So that's very important. Next, we're going to work on the logs, and you'll see that in my next video. But I just had to mention that because it's just so important. Never forget to initialize your Git and track your files so it makes managing code easy, especially if you're working in a team.